I want to get into talking about toxic relationships. Us women, when we're in a new relationship and we have butterflies and we thinking this person is the one, thinking that this is going to be the man that we're going to marry and have children with, and then we tend to notice red flags, but we avoid the red flags because we just thinking that it's in our heads or we're just crazy or it's just nothing to it. And sometimes when we ignore the red flags, things get escalated or 10 times worse in a relationship. So I want to talk to you about toxic relationships and tell you the warning signs, how to get out, and know your self-worth, because us women, we should know our self-worth and we should not even tolerate the disrespect, the rudeness, the manipulation in regards to toxic relationships. So I'm going to dive in. Hey everyone, welcome back to That's It. Okay, you guys. So I know us women, we want to find the one, if the one is out there, so we can, fall in love, get married, and have a family, and just live happily ever after. And sometimes that's not the case. Okay, sometimes we have to, go through a lot of frogs before we meet our prince and before we have our happy endings. And sometimes it can take months, years, even decades just to find the right person. Or sometimes it may not happen. All depends on the situation that you're in. And you have some people, some women that just settle because they don't want to be alone because they see their friends of theirs, married already and have children and already have a family and have this life, and then they feel like they're being left out. And sometimes it's good to wait. It's good to wait instead of settling for the person that you think that that's the one, when all reality it can be the worst nightmare and the worst relationship that you ever had. But then you got so into the deep in a relationship that you can't get out because this particular person just manipulated you, just gaslighting you, isolate yourself with your friends and family, and much more. And I just want to tell you, women, young women, and women out there, that you're not alone, and you should know your self worth. You should know that you shouldn't let any man control you or define who you are as a person, because everyone deserves love. Everyone deserves happiness and respect and kindness and loyalty and all those things. Not to be, manipulated or gaslighting or controlling or walking on eggshells with your significant other because you're so afraid what he might do, because you want to keep him happy. You want to keep him happy. And obviously having boundaries too. And sometimes they don't respect your boundaries when you give them to them. So I just want to talk about, toxic relationships and how to avoid it, how to get out of it. And especially if you're really deep in a relationship that you are falling in love with that person, that it's so hard to walk away. And the signs of some women that don't walk away because they don't know what else to do. That's all they know. So I just have to say it's hard, you know what I mean? Because we all want to be in love. We all want to find the one. We all have to go through kissing a lot of frogs before we find our Prince Charming. And it's not easy, especially, in these date ages that, dating on the internet, meeting someone in person, old fashioned, blind dates, whatever the case might be. Dating is hard. Finding the right person is hard. Finding the right partner and having a family with, it can be extremely hard and it can be extremely stressful. And women tend to, they feel like their biological clock is ticking. They want to start a family. They want to become a mom, and then sometimes they just settle and just meet the next thing. I guess you know what I mean, because they have that urge to become a mom and start a family because everyone else has a family. And I have to say that's the wrong thing to do. That's the wrong mindset to have, because when you tend to rush and meet someone so quickly and so fast, 9 out of 10, it doesn't work out that way, what you expect. Because you think this is the person that you think that person is the one, and you think that that person is going to be your happy ever after, and then next you know it, they turn on you, meaning that they're not the same person that you met. And people tend to lie about themselves or keep certain things from themselves. And that's why it's super important to, like, when you start dating and when you start meeting someone, that you get to know them thoroughly. You get to know everything about them, their family, their friends, their jobs, their habits, their ups and downs, everything. Because you don't want to be blindsided. Then you get involved and it gets serious, you get married, and this is the totally not the person that you thought you married. And it tends to happen. It tends to happen a lot of times. And then people, some women, they settle and then they stick with it for several years, and the next you know it, they end up in divorce. And why go through that? Why go through that when you get this nip it in the bud and realize all the red flags before it tends to lead to that point? So the red flags that I want to point out to you when you enter relationship with someone, and you tend to find out that this person is very toxic, but you don't know if it is, because in your mind you're thinking that it's love, or he really loves you, he really cares about you. That's why he's going so hard. That's why he's saying all these things to you. And wrong. That's not what it is. That's just controlling, that's just manipulation, and that is not love. Love is when a man loves you, respects you, respects your boundaries, tell you nice words, and just be kind to you. And then you're equal. He's not here and then you're down here. You know what I mean? He's not like bossing you around and telling you what to do. So the red flags of a toxic relationship is jealousy. If your significant other is jealous of your friends or your family, your coworkers, anything like that, that's a red flag, okay? That's a red flag. If they tell you they want to isolate you with your friends and your family, that's another red flag. To me, I would run for the hills, okay? Another red flag. If the person is gaslighting you, manipulating you, lack of support of anything that you try to do in your life, a career change, or you're trying to start a new career, or any adventures that you want to try to do, and he is not supportive, that's a red flag. Or he is trying to keep you the way you are, meaning that he doesn't want you to exceed in life or excel, that's a red flag. Controlling. If he's controlling of your whereabouts, what you're doing, what you're saying, that's a big red flag. No man should tell another woman what to do, okay? Because first of all, he's not your daddy, okay? You're a grown woman, and you should do whatever you want to do. Respectfully, obviously. If you're in a committed relationship, be respectful. But for a man to control a woman, say you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't wear this, you have to wear that, boy, bye. She's a grown woman, okay? You have to respect her. She is not your daughter. She is your girlfriend. You have to treat her equally. Another one, not taking responsibilities of the boundaries. Walking on eggshells, especially if you're living with the person. My gosh, that's even worse. If you're living with someone and you have to walk on eggshells just to please that person, just to watch what you say, what you do, how you do it. It's exhausting. And I bet it's exhausting for the other person too that's dealing with this every single day and they don't know what to do. It's hard. It's hard. And no person, no young woman or any women should go through that, period. They shouldn't. It should be an equal partnership. And if you don't find that that's an equal partnership, then you have to go. And I know that's hard, especially you invest in this relationship. You put all your love, your blood and sweat and tears, and you don't want to start all over. But would you rather stay in a toxic relationship and make someone make you feel less of a person, opposed to starting all over and meeting the right guy that who will love you, respect you, honor you, treat you like a queen that you are, and then just, be supportive? Or would you want a scumbag who's just going to tell you what to say, what to do, and control you? I think I would have to take the other route and start all over and meet someone, even though it sucks. You know what I mean? Who wants to start all over? Who wants to start all over and go back on the dating scene and go on a dating website? No one does. It's hard. It sucks, but you want your happiness. You want to have that love. You want that happiness for someone who's going to love you back, not someone that's going to control you. Another sign is that people tend to stay in a relationship, and it's the fighting. The fighting is just like a pattern. It's just the same fights over again. It's like redundant. It's like you get exhausted, you get tired. Like, why are we fighting about the same things. Why? Why you keep, starting something that there's nothing there? And that tends to happen. Why keep hurting each other when you're supposed to love each other? And there's times in a relationship that does happen. You know what I mean? Just I just don't understand why some women that I know that are very smart and very educated and know from right and wrong, and they tend to stay in this relationship because they love this guy, and they feel sorry for this person, and that's why most people stay in a relationship, because they feel like they fear of being alone. They fear that no one's not going to love them, or like I said, they're not going to find someone. They don't want to start all over. And I want to tell you, ladies, that's absolutely further from the truth. You can find someone. Don't let anyone tell you, oh, you're not going to find anyone better than me. That is total bullshit. Okay, bullshit. They're just saying that just to manipulate you, for you to stay and for you not to leave. There's so many men out there. Sorry, guys. There's so many men out there that will adore you and love you and respect you and treat just like I said, treat you like the queen that you are, and not treat you like a scumbag like most men are. Not all of them, most men, because they have low self-esteem, because they have issues on their own, and they don't want to deal with it. So instead of dealing with their issues, they project it on you, thinking that you're the problem. See, you made me do this. You made me say this, when all reality it's not you. I promise you, it's not you. It's them. It's the issues that they probably had as a childhood, or not having a father figure in their life, or a lack of what you call a lack of low self-esteem, not having a good career, whatever the case might be. But it's their problem, not yours. Another thing, having a low self-esteem, putting your low self-esteem down, saying that, oh, you're not going to find anyone, you're not that attractive, you're not beautiful, I'm the only one that you got, no one's not, you're not going to find the best thing. All this stuff to just to mess with your head, and sometimes it worked for some young women and older women too, adult women as well. And I just want to say, don't fall for it, because that's what they want to do. They want to manipulate you thinking that, and put your low self-esteem so low that no one else will love you. No one else will respect you. No one else will give you the things that your heart and desire wants. Sorry, gosh, it's allergies or something going on here. Also, a lot of people stay for emotional dependency, because they get so attached to that person, and they feel like, oh, I'm just so attached. I'm so used to that person. Why leave? Why leave? I'm so used to it, and I'm not going to find the next best thing. And I'm good. And I'm telling you, ladies, that's absolutely further from the truth. You shouldn't be emotionally dependent by a guy at all, because that's what they want. Especially, you have the controlling ones. That's what they want. That's what they try to do, for you to be emotionally dependent on them and not rely on your friends or family or your coworkers or anyone. And you shouldn't be emotionally dependent by a man, period. You should be independent and strong, and have high, strong will, and obviously voice your opinion and concern, and in a respectful way, obviously, not for it to get any violence or anything. And if it does get to that point, walk away, leave, or call the police. I advise that immediately. Also, a lot of women stay in a toxic relationship. They think they can change the man. That's another thing. They're hoping that they can change this person. And I'm going to tell you, no, you can't change someone if they've been like this for their adulthood. Okay, from when they hit puberty, and from their teens, and from a young adult to a man, you can't change someone. Only God can change that person. Doesn't matter what you say, what you do. You cook, you clean, you come home on time, you walk on eggshells. You can't change someone who's not willing to change themselves. So I want to tell you, stop doing that. Stop thinking that you can change someone. You can't. You can't change an abuser. You can't change a drug addict. You can't change anybody, any man, if they're not willing to change themselves. Okay? The only thing you can do for them is just pray for them. Pray for them and let God work on them. But you can't change someone if they're not willing to change themselves. Also, a lot of women say guilt of our obligation. Why? Why stay out of guilt? For what? That's the whole point of manipulation and gaslighting. They just want you to stay because they want you to feel guilty and make you feel sorry for them. Like, see what you're doing? You leaving me? All the things that I've done for you? Boy, bye. You should say, no, absolutely not. I'm not staying because the way you treated me, how you hurt me, my family, my friends, no, that's what they do. They try to guilt trip you thinking that you did something wrong towards them, and then that's how they make you stay. And then they go back in their room or whatever and laugh and say, yes, I got her. I got her where I want her. And that's what they're thinking right now when they say that to you. Okay? Don't fall for it. Believe me, don't fall for it. Because I tell my friends all the time, when they were going through a relationship, I tell them, walk away, leave. Why do you stay with this person? Why do you stay with this scumbag who is making you cry, making you sad, doubt yourself? That's not love when a man does that to you. Okay, when you're crying constantly, when you're sad, depressed, thinking that you want to end your life. That's not love, you guys. That's manipulation and controlling and gaslighting. When you love someone, you don't make someone cry. You lift them up. You lift them up, you give them joy, you give them happiness, and you want the same thing that they want. You want the same goals. You don't want the total opposite and then put them down, make them feel less as a person. That's not love. That's toxic love. No one doesn't want a toxic love. Also, most women stay for financial dependency because their boyfriend or their husband make more money than them. They're more of the breadwinner. Sometimes you have a stay-at-home mom. Sometimes you have a person that just works, the bare minimum, and they don't make enough. That's no reason to stay, because once a man makes more money and they realize they make more money than you, they know they got you. They know that they're in control of the money. They're in control of the finances. That they can say or do whatever they want, and you don't have to say. Basically, you like the child, and he's like your father. So if you need any money or anything, it's like they give it to you as an allowance. And I'm like, what? I'm an adult here. Like, why am I asking you for money? Let me get a job or I have some money of my own. And that's how it should be. Or it should be equal partnership. It should not be like you should ask a man for money and thinking that he has some type of control over you. That's not how it works. But it does work. It does happen. It does happen in most relationships. And that's what most women stay because of that. And I just want to tell you, you should not stay. You should have your own money, your own independence, your own finances. Do not rely on a man, because once you rely on a man on all those certain type of things, they know they got you. They know they got you. They know they can control you, and that is it. It's a wrap. But it doesn't have to be your life. It doesn't have to be your journey. Obviously, if you see all the red flags right away, run for the hills. Run for the hills. I know it's easy said and done, especially you feel like you spend your whole time in this relationship, investing in your relationship. But rather you leave now early opposed to being in the relationship 6 months to a year and then marry this person and then you realize this person was a total scumbag and controlling you, manipulating you, and did all these things to you, and then you end up with a divorce with a child. Then what? Then you're stuck with that person for 18 years, for the rest of your life with that loser. Why go through all that when you notice the red flags, you've seen the red flags, and you can just avoid it altogether? And again, I know it's not easy. It's hard out there, especially if you're single and then you're looking for love and marriage and have a family, and you do meet someone. But you always have to pay attention, you guys, to all the red flags and notice stuff like that. And when you find a man who does certain things that I just mentioned to you, and you know that the relationship is not good, and you're constantly arguing all the time, he's constantly nitpicking you of every little thing that you're doing. You know you're not doing anything wrong. You're doing everything right by being respectful, being kind, being loving-dovey, and then he's just tearing you down and making you feel less as a person when it shouldn't be that way. Love, it should be, kindness, faithfulness, compassion. It should just be full of joy and happiness and working together as a team to build a goal for the future for you, and then starting a family. That's what love it should be. It should partnership, not a dictatorship. That makes sense. You know what I mean? It should be two partners together, in love, trying to have a future for one another, not tearing each other down and constantly fighting and controlling and just manipulating the person. That's not what it is. And if you're involved in a toxic relationship, and I mentioned all those signs, and if it's happening to you, run. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your coworker. Let someone know. Let someone be aware that can give you that love and support system. And if you're not ready to walk away because it's so hard, that's okay. But at least you telling someone so they're aware of it. If that person gets abusive towards you and then you have bruises, make sure you take pictures. Make sure you give the pictures to your friend just for backup, just in case. Make sure you have documents. That's the most important thing. Make sure you have documents and something, a paper trail, just in case if you decide to report it, at least you have a paper trail to let a law enforcement know. Because when you do report it, sometimes 9 out of 10 they don't believe you. They really don't believe you. So it's very important that you document things. You let your friends and family know, your coworker, anyone that so they can be aware of your situation. And I know it's easy said and done just to walk away from someone, especially that you love, if you invested your time, your energy, your money, and everything. But ask yourself this: do you deserve happiness? Do you deserve love? Do you deserve a partner who's going to give you all those things and support you 100% and be loyal to you and faithful to you? Or would you rather have someone who just keeps coming down on you and not giving you any support, lack of support, just hurting you every single day and just make you feel less of a person and second guessing yourself and driving you crazy? And drive you crazy. I feel like that's the whole, sometimes the purpose of men driving women crazy and thinking that it's them when it's actually not them. It's not you, excuse me, it's them. They're the one that have issues. They don't want to have a problem. And I can guarantee you this, ladies out there, you can't change them. You can't fix them. They have to fix themselves. They have to be willing to put in the work and figure it out because you are not their mother, okay? You are their girlfriends or wife. You're a grown adult. He's a grown man. He should fix his problems. Go to therapy, see a pastor, go to church, prayer, or whatever. You cannot fix a situation that you're not equipped to. Go see a therapist. You can't fix someone if they're not willing to fix themselves. That's it. That's it. Okay? And if you are going through something like this, just again, like I said, talk to a friend, talk to someone that you feel you can trust, that you can just let them know your situation. You may not want to tell them everything because, especially if you have good friends, obviously your girlfriends are going to stick up for you and be there for you, and they want to get involved sometimes that they want to punch that person in the face, the other, your boyfriend or your husband. If you don't want to tell them everything, that's fine because you don't want any issues or trouble. You don't want anything to escalate. I get that, but at least tell them, a little bit what's going on and how you feeling because it's not very healthy or good to keep or bottle everything inside and not tell anyone and not let anyone know what you're going through because I can promise you it is not you. Okay, it is not you. It is him. So remember that if you decide you want to give this person another chance, you're too afraid to walk away, just remember it is not you, it is him. And just remember, if you do have the courage to walk away, that you're doing the right thing. You're doing the right thing. Your person is out there. Your person that's going to adore you and love you and treat you like a queen is out there, opposed to someone who's just going to treat you like scum and make you miserable each and every day and just doubt yourself and just doubt your self-esteem and everything. You don't want that. You want a happy, healthy, loving relationship and nothing toxic. Because toxic relationship you don't get anything out of it but misery and pain and suffering, crying and depression and loneliness. And you're not really happy deep down. You're not really happy. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Let me know what you think. If you like this video, please like, share, subscribe. And just remember, just take care of yourself, put yourself first, do wellness check, and just remember that everyone loves you, including me. So thank you so much for watching. That's it, and I will see you guys next time.